Back on Sports Bit, time for 5 great minutes with Jimmy Vaccaro. Check him out at the South Point. Follow him on Twitter at Jimmy Vaccaro. 40 years as a bookmaker in this racket. All right, tell me what it was like. Was it like the Super Bowl? How long were the lines at your book?
We had to send out pictures, Paulie, because I wanted to make sure that people didn't think I was over exaggerating. We put one of our girls up on a chair and took some pictures and sent it to our website. It was like Super Bowl Sunday. I had never seen nothing like this. It was SRO only. We have our 12 windows in the sports book, and we used 3 out of the race book. And until they kicked off at 10:05, there was a minimum of 15 to 20 people in line. This was nonstop from about 20 to 7 till we kicked off. Now, everything that I've talked with the other guys around the city, it's the same thing over and over and over again. We can't keep up with the traffic. Yes, throw in the things that we know have created business, and yes, we understand the mobile apps are important, but yes, we must understand, and the people who hold these things in high esteem, who have the chance to change the rules for the United States to have betting nationwide, they're insane. If they would see what happens, there's nothing wrong with it. People love to come out, and these kids, they may be a little crazy, but they're so athletic. Then you see endings like you did yesterday, which Martin Scorsese couldn't script. How much better can you get, my friend? Really, how much better can you get?
Yeah, amen, brother. But, I mean, all the finishes. You had a record for teams with the fourth quarter comebacks in week 1.
I had never seen it. I'll give you one. As we talked about again incessantly, it's like people like to bet these teasers and they like to bet these money lines, these huge money line parlays where they line up 6 or 7 teams anywhere from a 6 to a 15-point favorite, put about $7,000 to $10,000 on and figure it's just stick around for a couple hours and naturally you'll pick up $1,200-$1,500. And here's one. The reason I know about this is because this kid went from window to window to window. Saturday, you ready for this one? He bet a 7-teamer for $7,000, anywhere between a 4. And as he was telling the coach, he says, I'm going to have a throw-in game here, too. I know this one can't lose. Give me Oklahoma State. So after the game was over, he just kept showing his ticket to everybody in the sportsbook. How could this happen? How could this happen? It can happen, and you know what, my friend? It's going to happen again.
Oh, my God, that's staggering. How about that? My God. Explain the Scoop Jackson where you win everything because the Patriots won outright.
Well, the Patriots and the Colts were our 2 biggest games here. The other games, it was like yin and yang, but we actually ground out money going into that. But when you come down to a game that actually, if you really go back, Paulie, before the Brady suspension was even talked about, that game was sent out maybe, I think it was 1 Arizona way back when. Then naturally we kept adjusting during the course of the summer as it looked like he wasn't going to play. First it went to 3.5 and 4, then it went to 5, 5.5, and then obviously from Wednesday on it went crazy. And we closed 9.5. And yes, other than maybe some smarts buying back at a huge 9.5 or bought it up into 10. We won every ticket. I'd say it was one of those silent games where you did really, really well. It was the last 2-point safety by the Colts. Remember, it was on 2, which means you still had a few people out there who had tickets who would win with the teaser with the Colts, and they threw the ball all around. Bang, safety, 4-point difference, ripped those tickets up. So the Colts game and the Patriot game made for the South Point a great Saturday and a great Sunday.
Jimmy, it was like Ohio State Northwestern. They kept going backwards on the lateral. You knew it was going to be a safety. You knew it was going to come.
Well, everybody at that joint, again, that was one of those things, Paulie. Maybe one of these guys should go back and see exactly how long that play took. Because I'm guessing maybe 45 seconds, and as I'm standing there like everybody else in the book, it's high-pitched screaming because there's still people who want the Colts to win, naturally. There's still people who want to see a fantastic ending, and there's still people who had the teasers on the Colts. And it was insane, the noise level that went to as they're throwing the ball back and forth. And yes, it took at least 45 seconds. So here again, we can't script these things. We can't dream up an ending like this and that. And then, the Patriot game, I mean, how much more credit we have to keep throwing on Bill Belichick. Now, we do understand that he had all summer to prepare Garoppolo. Yes, and we know that the move came a few days ago only because Gronkowski ruled out. We know that we didn't know Ninkovich was going to be out, but he wound up being out. 2 of the offensive linemen were hurt. But for him to go to a place, and now remember also, when you come out, the Arizona Cardinals are talked about as like one of the teams to get there. You talk about a bad radio wicket they're going to have in Phoenix this week because they somehow screw it up, and they had to have a bad snap, and the kid missed a 47-yarder. So, yes, we had a very good weekend. The handle, before I left, I didn't check out the last game to throw it in there, but I guarantee you it was the biggest opening Sunday the state of Nevada ever had by a long shot.
Jimmy Vaccaro, our guest from the South Point in Las Vegas. So you said it was a pretty good Sunday for you. What were some bad results? Did a tough finish with the middle with the Green Bay Jacksonville?
Yeah, we got laid out pretty good on that because there was a lot of -3.5 and -4 because we had it 5.5 earlier in the weekend. The smarts were all over the dog there. And I would venture to say that not by much, but Jacksonville actually outplayed them. Another bad result. Remember, we put up the Minnesota Vikings way back when at 2.5, and there was bet up to 3.5, and then Bridgewater gets hurt, so we readjusted that line also. And so there were still the people who laid the 3.5 way back when they got the cash there. But how can you say they beat the team beat them and the other team didn't have any offensive touchdowns? The 2 defensive touchdowns, turns around for Tennessee. And once again, here we go. It seems as good as some of these young players get and as good as these teams are waiting to break out, Tennessee seems to stumble all over themselves. I don't know where you go with Rex Ryan. The play calling was insane. They had a lot of chances. Utilizing timeouts, we don't even want to get into that, pal, because you can sit down and go for about another half an hour. But they are the boss, but they haven't got one clue how they don't save time. The Miami guy, he's letting the clock run down. And I don't understand it there. Give yourself a chance. The Saints game, I give the guy credit. What side you're on, whether they go for 2 or they don't go for 2, they still could have utilized more time. Giving Breeze 40 seconds and the ball and everybody gassed on the other side, they probably would at least have had a chance to do that. But like I said, we can be here till mid-afternoon and talk about these games. But all I can tell you is football is back, my friend.
Yep, thanks for hitting on everything. I agree with just about everything you just said when you ran down the finishes. One more. Hey, there's no let-up, Jimmy. Now, Saturday, we got a great college schedule, and we got Louisville and Florida State at 9 in the morning.
Wow. I don't. All I know is, we may see the first 100-point over and under every game Louisville is in anymore. Ooh. I mean, that's incredible. It's just incredible. It was 21-0 against Syracuse, and that was a big move on the favorite there. And it was 21-0 with, 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. So yes. What can I tell you, kid?
You're the best. Thanks for 5 great minutes. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next week, sir. Hey, guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey, SportsBit viewers, check out today's MLB Odds Couple show Tuesday, September 13th. Mike Brenner, you had a winning day yesterday as well. I'm on fire, though. I don't usually say that about myself.
No, I know you don't.
I'm up over 1% ROI on the year now, and so check in today's show. I make a lot of jokes. No jokes right now. I'm going to have like 20 picks. And,
oh, my God.
And I'm liking a lot of them. Tune in today's show.
I got to tell this. I got to say this with all seriousness. You never gloat. You're not that guy.
I'm not
but you know what? I love the wave of energy from when you
feeling it.
You are feeling it, baby.
Tune into the show today, September 13th.